fantastic. People. I was about to lose my wits.
A mind's question. The dust of the Akita in her hair. She knocks. We would answer.
You wouldn't happen to have a ladder on hand, would you? Barrett's balls. Just my luck. I really need that vase, and a ladder is required.
I'd always heard Barrett's bells, but I like your version better.
But perhaps we don't need one. You're tall, striking, and well-toned. Oh, of course. Why would a priceless artifact be important? Well, I'm not surprised you don't know of the Godless. But they were here in the Living Lands long before we were. Long before anyone else, as far as I can tell. Give or take a few thousand years. They lived on every corner of the lands. You must have passed a few of their ruins on the way here. The big ones, with spires that look more than a little phallic. A lot of their structures were embedded in the ground. They lived in harmony with the land. I mean, as much as you can live in harmony with the land actively trying to kill you. Maybe it was nicer back then. 30 years of research, and as far as I can tell, they just upped and disappeared one day. Fascinating, right? Well, what's important is that the vase is within my grasp, now that I've a tall, dark, and beautiful stranger to help. There's a vase in this ruin that's too high for me to reach. Fetch it for me. I can pay you in skates if you do. The vase sits atop that tower beside us, in the ruins there. And once you've got it, look me up. Yatsley, wizard extraordinaire, godless expert, and a Balrog in the bedroom.
You do meet the most interesting people.
I can get you 1,000 faces that don't require going into some ancient ruins. No one listens to me. Quiet, Nimdude.
Another win, but who's counting? Feels like some of these plants have it out for us.
Andra's titties, you found it! I tried using magic to get the face down, but alas. Thankfully you and your little friends came along and saved the day.
Excuse me. We're all bigger than you are, Nimdude.
I may be small, but my magic is not, I assure you. Ah, yes, I didn't I? The cost is well worth it. Such a godless artifact is worth its weight in gold. Think of all the secrets and memories it holds. Of course, follow the path through the fields. The settlement walls should appear through the fog. I'd best pack up myself. I have a vase to study. Thank you for your help, Godlike, even if you didn't have a ladder.
Well, that's something I hope never happens again.
I've got a few inches to spare if she changes her mind.
Darling, you are aware I can see you digging through my things, aren't you?
This one, get it.
Everybody all right? I've never seen Emerald stare like this. It's usually so nice. Listen. Kai. I need you to stalk like a cat, not stomp around like a Ballarok.
My training was a lot bigger on stomping than stalking, unfortunately.
Right, and I got cooking lessons in Solace, but you don't see me making beetle mash every night for dinner. The bear's out here.
The armored mask. We dream of steel and charred earth and flame. The memory binds. Flee from her. We fear. For us. For you. Blazing ire. It burns and feeds upon itself. Pain through the smoke, we recall. You are not safe with her. Fog, a swirling haze of fear, the mist chokes. She hurt us. We only remember pain. The canopy stretches over the sprout to keep it safe. Steer clear of the scourging fire, or extinguish it. Cull or tend, the bear's blood nourishes the earth. The flame spreads toward the garden wall. Listen, have care. Have care.
Take a moment, people.
As if people weren't hungry enough.
Hand in hand, they toil, and the earth gives in return. The smile of the harvest.
I don't see what's the problem.
If you can't see it, I doubt I can explain it to you.
Tell me another solution that would be half as efficient as that.
You're the first godlike to come through in, well, I can't remember how long. I hope that's a good sign. I'll take what I can get. If the gods don't bless us with a harvest soon, this market will be empty come winter. Really? You know the gods don't exactly favor animancy. Some say the old gods aren't here, or maybe they just don't care for the living lands. If you need an animancer, you'll have to clear it with the governor. He lives in the big manor on the far side of town. Let me know if anything strikes your fancy. We don't have much, but the harvest hasn't bled us dry yet. What'll it be? Godlike?
What do you mean that's all you've got? Last week you said there'd be grain.
You know what I said. We only have so much to go around.
Are the animals starving as well? Or are they
Word of advice, give a wide berth to the governor's manor. Giatta's about to tear that poor man a new one. Well, I hope you have a stomach for profanity.
Huh. A woman shouting profanity at leadership? Reminds me of home.
She came storming up the hill with a wheelbarrow full of spoiled crops. Then the shouting started.
Animancers fighting? This I have to see.
This isn't the first time Giatta's put the governor in his place, but it might be the last. Look around. The town's overgrown, the crops are dying. What's not to fight about?
Just take a blessed day look outside. Doesn't take a genius to see this place is rolling downhill.
The governor's manor is on the far side of town. You can't miss it. Just follow the sound of foul language.
I was hoping to learn some local curses.
Looking forward to seeing what it looks like when animancers fight.
The Emperor's envoy. You're a welcome sight. Thank you again for your help with the militia in Paradise. If you're here to speak with Vidaro, I'm afraid you'll find the governor is quite beyond reason. These Valians and their love of animancy. While they theorize and do nothing, the sickness spreads. But worry not, envoy. The Steel Garrote will be ready to ensure the safety of Adiran interests when the time comes. We all have our part to play, envoy. Until later.
She's as subtle as a broadside.
Does subtle mean something different outside of Solace?
Be careful with old Nuna. Ah, those Delemgat. Oh, those poor souls. Oh, the Trentons. Bunch of butzels, if you ask me. But they are dangerous, I'll admit. Watch yourself out there.
Oh, this will be so very useful back home.
Genuine healing crystals, purest in all of Eora.
Oh, you startled me. This old woman can get lost in prayer from time to time. You must be the Adiran envoy I've been hearing about. Apologies for any hardships you may have experienced getting here. The failing crops, the strange beasts, and even the dream scourge are all the result of our neglect of the dead. I was calling on the spirits of the recently dead to follow the guidance of Bareth, god of death. I am asking the spirits to forgive us for our negligence and continue on their way without anger. The dead of Fjord expect certain rituals to be carried out. I have failed to perform those rituals, and now the spirits are angry.
Are you volunteering us to hang out in a graveyard?
Oh, if you would, that would simply be wonderful. I wouldn't know how to thank you. Our recent dead require a final meal to ease their passage from life. Without it, they can't rejoin the cycle.
You've got people waiting in line for their next meal, and you want to waste food on the dead?
I got food from the grain merchant stores. I just need someone to leave it at the graves. The dead will take it from there.
Flesh and bone, they bring the fruit to those who cannot eat. What tree calls for its branches to endure these rituals?
The ritual heals all. The spirits get one more taste of life, and the living get to offer one last gift to the dead. You must take these offerings of food and place them at 3 grave sites where the recently dead lay. The first offering goes to a cliffside grave on the southern coast. The second offering goes to a grave in the swamp, far to the west from here. The final offering should be taken to the truffle farm east of Fjord, where a family lost their lives to the encroaching wilds. I believe it will do exactly that. The spirits will find closure and rest, and the living can move on from this recent tragedy. Be careful, friends. The angry spirits lash out blindly. I cannot predict what awaits you at these graves.
Next time you want to tour graveyards, I'm staying at camp. We should help the living and let the dead rest.
I can't thank you enough for helping to ease the conscience of an old lady. Please, return when the rituals are complete.
What's the meaning of this?
Look at these crops. Look at your city. The dream scourge is How can you ignore what's right in front of you? The dream scourge is here, in the soil, and it's killing us. Oh, my goodness. Are you a godlike? In that case, you're right on time.
Maybe you can talk some sense into our governor. Put the fear of the gods in him.
Tempers are high, but I don't see any assassins. Yet.
Excuse me.
But unless you have official business, I'll thank you not to involve yourself in our private discussion. Very well. I hope you remember that behind these walls, your influence has limits.
I'm sure she didn't come all this way just to challenge your authority. As you can see, I was just proving a point to our esteemed governor.
A cart full of spoiled vegetables. You call that a point?
Ha! Emerald Stair used to be a lush garden for miles around, and now I don't even recognize it. First came the invasive species, roots and mycelium growing overnight, as though nature itself had gone mad. The Dream Scourge has twisted our lands, our wildlife, and now, our farms. Then there's no time to waste arguing with bureaucrats.
I like her already.
I believe that we can restore the land, bring back its soul and its sanity, cut off the Dream Scourge at the root. Our governor would rather ignore the problem. He doesn't trust animancy as his father did. Before we can deal with the Dream Scourge, we first need to understand it. Unfortunately, new experiments have to go through him.
Once again, bureaucracy stands in the way of getting things done.
I'm just trying to stop Giatta from hurting herself. Animancy is dangerous when you're shooting in the dark. Are you going to tell her about your family's basement? Or should I?
How dare you use that against me?
I know it was an accident, but look what it cost you. We can't let it happen again.
While we argue among ourselves, the Dream Scourge is tearing the living lands apart. Tearing our people apart. Really? Unexpected from an Adiran. But how could I refuse an offer like that? Well, Governor, looks like I'm taking some time away from my duties. I'll trouble you no more.
Your request is denied, Giatta.
I wasn't asking.
Your responsibilities are to the settlement. Turning away from them sets a precedent that I cannot allow.
Everything I have proposed has been for Fior, and you still refuse to cooperate. Under the circumstances, I don't have much of a choice.
Then neither do I. Giatta Castel, from this day forth, you are banished from Fior Messiverno.
Whoa, you're banishing her for that?
What?
Ignacy, we can't lose our brightest animancer in the middle of a crisis.
Your pupil has gone too far, Quilici. Take her and leave. You're still a guest in my town, but to us, Giatta is an outcast. Perhaps, but I can't just let her continue to poison the minds of my animancers.
They aren't your animancers. Your father understood that.
Don't bother, old man. He isn't his father. I've done all I can for Fior Messiverno. But you haven't even tried. Now limp back to your giant house like a good dog. We should talk somewhere private. Meet me at my house due west, by the workshop.
Another mouth to feed. Maybe we'll need to let Kai hunt more after all.
Encantado! Welcome to my fine establishment, I mean.
As I had planned.
What did you think would happen when you confronted him so?
Well, my first idea was to mess up his house. Maybe break a window or two.
Perhaps I should thank you for showing restraint.
I'm sorry you had to see that. What an asshole.
Giata, some manners, if you please.
Why start now?
We're on the verge of extinction, but our governor is too busy protecting his fragile ego. What does he know? He isn't even an animancer.
You did challenge his authority.
I know, but... curses. Without Fior Messiverno, I'm hardly even an animancer. My tools, the workshop, all gone. We'll have fewer resources to work with, but anything's possible. At least now I'm free to study whatever I want, on my terms. The Dream Scourge has been a thorn in my side for too long.
I have plans for this island, and they don't involve the Dream Scourge. But that's a story for another day.
Your parents would be proud to see such tenacity.
Anyway, listen to us babble. Let's talk about you. I never expected to see an Adiran envoy here. You've got a lot of guts showing your face in a town full of animancers. Likewise, they should be educational for us both. Our first order of business is the Dream Scourge, but I'm also curious about you. There aren't many godlike left these days. Wouldn't that be a coincidence? I only bring it up because Animancy might offer us some insight into your nature. Keep an open mind. While I pack up my belongings, you can help me by... I just realized this is the end. I have to leave Fior Messiverno. Forever.
Some people don't find out who they really are until they leave home.
You'll be all right. My advice, find a good tavern and learn how to prepare squirrel over an open flame.
Maybe if I focus on what I have gained, I can learn to accept everything I've lost. When it comes to the Dream Scourge, we haven't been allowed to acknowledge the problem, much less act on a solution. Today, that changes. I need help from the animancers around town, but as you can see, I'm an outcast. I hope so, because we're running out of options. Manto Pastor is in the workshop due west. He's got an invention that can help us. Elia Rossell is an authority on the undead. Her methods are controversial, but useful. She lives in a cottage southeast of town. And then there's Yvette and Remy, our philosophers. You'll find them at the docks, southeast of Fior. Each of them owes me a favor. Drop my name and they'll tell you what they know about the Dream Scourge. We're about to make history. But first, research.
Guessing she's not much of a hunter. Might want to get extra rations next time we go shopping.
Godlike, Imperial envoy, research assistant.
We're all ready.
Who knew?
Really? Huh. And when did that happen?
Can't say as I remember.
You, my friend, need some water. Ado, welcome to my fine establishment, amica.
Confounded machine.
I have to do something. I can't let anyone else discover this.
The Adra is healthy. It's... the essence I'm concerned about.
This... Again, you're beginning to sound like Giata.
Have you ever stopped and listened to her? She might be onto something.
I'm sure her mother and father were onto something, and look what happened to them.
Oh, I heard there was a new arrival, but I didn't expect a godlike. Welcome to our modest workshop. Giada, what a loss. I owe that young woman more than I could ever repay. Unfortunately, I cannot do a lick of research while my equipment is underpowered and overworked. Ha! A novel idea, that. What I need is a stronger power source. Perhaps if you can help me find an appropriate battery of essence. I could use a large single block of Atra, but harvesting it is difficult in this environment. Oh, wait. One of our rangers reported that an Adragon recently died in a western grove. An Adragon's heart can hold an immense amount of essence. The grove is to the west, across the chasm. You can't miss it. The rangers say a Delamgan queen holds court there. You may be able to retrieve it without violence, but most Delamgan in these parts are hostile to Keith. So you can understand why none of us went rushing over there to find it when we heard the Adragon had died. Still, Delamgan queens can be reasoned with, so if you want to get the heart peacefully, try not to kill her guards. Do be careful. Emerald Stair is not itself these days.
Well, let's go. That Adragon's heart isn't gonna yank itself out.
Ado, welcome to my fine establishment, Aimika.
Come on. My invention is guaranteed to enlarge your essence.
Yeah, I pretty much brought that plague bear down by myself.
Did you now?
Captain Masoni said...
I really don't think you can deny that everything wrong in Fjord.
In the past week. How am I supposed to live like this?
Those are no ordinary farm hands.
A godlike in Emerald's Den. Well, maybe our luck's improving. I'd offer to shake your hand, but I've been elbow deep in Beatrice all day. Try and use their names, if you don't mind. It builds their confidence. As you can see, this is my reanimated corpse farm.
We can smell it, too.
I'm trying to demonstrate the value of undead labor. But of course, nothing is ever that simple. What am I supposed to do? Just let them decompose? Reanimated corpses are the future of manual labor. Cost-effective, low maintenance, and very friendly. Now, Beatrice, she's being a real problem, if you can believe it. Would you be a dear and reach into her guts? Feel around for anything that doesn't belong. So the blight got into my revenant and interfered with her raising. That confirms one of my theories. Not only is the Dream Scourge affecting our farms, it's disrupting animancy, unraveling our work. Sounds like I have more research ahead of me, but at least now I have a sense of direction. Thank you for getting your hands dirty on my behalf, godlike. You're a natural. Giatta Castel wants my professional opinion. What an honor. I have a few theories, but no firm conclusions. I have to ask, is it true? Did Vidaro kick her out of town? Especially when a renowned animancer is shouting at the top of her lungs in the streets of Yor. Very well. I'll tell you what I know about the Dream Scourge. But first, I need some help around the farm. I'm up to my ears in chores around here, and the Revenants can only do so much. They can't do complicated tasks, you see. Anyway, I'm afraid the time has come to put down poor Silvo. Silvo is one of my Revenants. My oldest, my favorite, and the pride of my flock. Someone needs to put the poor fellow out to pasture. And I just don't have the heart to do it myself.
Well, it's already dead. That's the hard part done right there.
When a revenant goes bad, there's only one option. Final death. And poor Silvo's time has come. Whether you're raising cows or corpses, every farmer lives with death. Thank you for understanding. You can find Silvo in the barn. He's blocked the door somehow, but the window should be open. Just be gentle with him. He's a good boy.
So, we're killing a revenant then? She just couldn't come out and say that?
And this is why I don't take pets.
Unseen. I think I sprained my shoulder.
Envoy, a pleasure as always. Poor Silvo. He was a bright young revenant, but a very old man. Thank you for giving him peace. So, the Dream Scourge. I've been keeping an eye on the readings from my fields. This plague, as we know it, is a recent development. But I believe whatever causes it is older by far. Maybe even as old as the living lands. The exotic plants and animals, the twisted landscape, the dream scourge. They have a common ancestor. There's something about the essence in the living lands that's different from anywhere else I've seen. And end up like Giata? No thank you. The corpses, they need me. Not to get too superstitious, but in these troubled times, the arrival of a godlike is no coincidence. You are meant to be here. Toward what end, only you can say. And thank you for the interesting riddle. You and Giata are going to shake things up. As for me, I'll be keeping a close eye on my flock.
Oh, and thank you for the nightmare fuel. I really have been sleeping entirely too well lately.
I'm remembering why people find this place unsettling.
The great mystery is, are godlike blessed or cursed? The gods are silent on this question.
Neither. They just are. Anything else is speculation.
Ah, I hate speculation. I want answers.
Remy, look what I found. A genuine godlike.
Do you think they can hear us?
Let's find out. Hello, me, Yvette. You friend? Remy, take a note. Fluent speech and upright posture show marks of sophistication in the endangered godlike. We heard that Giada partnered up with an outsider, but I had no idea you were a godlike. Fascinating.
I suppose we owe her a favor. Or two.
Giada must have sent you to be our test subject. She knows how we adore your kind. Satisfy our curiosity and we'll give you everything Giada needs to finish her research. Deal?
Let's begin the examination. If you could choose, who or what would you be in your next life? Next time you go around the wheel, you might not get so lucky.
Who wouldn't? My turn. Some would call you blessed. Others would call you cursed. The fact remains, you were touched by the gods. Wouldn't you say that you owe something to the rest of us? So, you believe we need your help. Interesting.
Oh, I thought of another. We all know that godlike can't reproduce. How do you plan on leaving a legacy after you're gone? Very optimistic, aren't we? I think that covers everything. Thank you for that brilliant insight, godlike. You're a credit to your dwindling kind.
So, Giada wants to know all about the Dream Scourge, yes? Such has been her research of late. Do you want the good news or the bad news?
There's no cure for the Dream Scourge, much in the way that there's no cure for an avalanche.
Giada will be interested to learn that the Dream Scourge cannot just be studied in a lab. Its nature is wild, so it has to be studied in the wild. Our machines and experiments would meddle with it too much.
And like anything affecting the soul, it must be connected to essence. Thus, if she wishes to discover more about the Dream Scourge, a Pillar of Adra would be a good place to start.
That wouldn't surprise me. Both are natural occurrences, after all. Terrible, but quite natural.
Most natural things are. Terrible, that is.
An entity, you say? If this entity is your patron, that's all perfectly natural. But if it's something else, with enough essence and a capable animancer, perhaps you could trace this tether back to its source.
Right, and with a little fresh sake, you can follow an ogre back to its lair. Still wouldn't recommend it.
Just be careful that your tether doesn't snap back and kill you in the process.
Now that we've researched the mind of a godlike, the next step is anatomy. But we've taken enough of your time. Farewell. Did you hear
Hurry, before they change their minds.
Ugh, I might have
Wonder if she needs a new
dozed off
research
there for a bit.
Or
Were any
maybe
of those
a
words
taste
the ones we
subject?
needed?
We could do both. Anything to work with the great Giatta Castelli.
That's one for us.
Nice job, everyone.
Here we go! Take him down! One for you! Here they come. On your right! Ah, coming for the right!
Something's not right here.
I was just getting warmed up.
Look left!
Glad that's over.
They come!
Part of me loves seeing nature reclaim these ruins. Another part thinks nature needs to calm itself. Huh. The trail goes through the ravine and into the glade. Careful where you step. Nice job. Look at that. After you, envoy.
Take your best shot. Right flank.
It's like nature shaping these ruins into something. Like a shrine, but for who?
They're luckier than they know.
A welcome visitor. It has been so long since one of your kind has walked in this grove. We are both of this land, so we both speak the language of this land. But why have you come here? A curious thing for Kith to want. Even one as special as you. It belonged to one who tended this grove for longer than I have been here. Sickness changed them, as it has recently changed so many creatures in these woods. It no longer recognized us as their kin. We had to stop them before their madness damaged the land. When we become enemies of the land, it goes against our nature. We had no choice. But it is over now. All that remains is their heart. Our kind has no need for such remembrances. It would cause us no pain to part with it. But wait. No. No. So many dead. So many of my kin are dead by your hand. The time for words has passed.
Here we go! Come and get it. Left! That's all of it.
There. That's Tama's old house. Wonder what he wanted me to find. Place feels different without him. He left something behind for me. Help me look around. So much here reminds me of Tama. It's strange to be back without him. I still can't imagine what he wanted me to find. Say, what's that you're holding? Yeah, it is. Damn you, Tama. Damn you. I carved this for him years ago. I had no idea he'd kept it, let alone. And he tells me like this, when he's long gone, leaving me with nothing but a piece of driftwood I gave him years ago. The man kept a journal of poetry. He never had a problem with words. And we knew each other for years. We were close. I trusted him with things in my past. Things I don't talk about. Did I tell him? I was a mess when we met. I'd been through the battles in Deadfire and a handful of mercenary campaigns since. I was a chewed-up piece of flotsam drifting to the living lands. Oh, I don't blame him. Tom always saw right through me. He knew what I was. A coward. I let him down. He was always there when I needed him. But when he needed me, You don't pull your punches, do you? Don't be. I reckon I could use a little more truth. Let's keep moving. A little fresh air will clear my head.
Envoy, on your right! On your right! That all you had? I was just getting warmed up. Envoy, over here.
Ado, welcome to my fine establishment. Well, I was not expecting such an esteemed guest in my humble workshop. Are you in need of any weapons or armor? The roads haven't been safe as of late. Welcome to my fine establishment, I'm Mika.
For an Adiran, you're very resourceful, and a more than capable companion for poor Giada. With any luck, I can tell you a great deal. Now that I've got the heart, my thirsty invention will drink deeply of its essence. All that's left to do is calibrate it. First things first. Let's have a look at your soul. I'm going to ask some questions to induce a metaphysical quiver. No, not to worry, just testing your reflexes. Let's start with an easy one. You wake up on a beach, looking up into the sun. Your hands are covered in blood. All right. Let's try some word association. Tell me the first thing that comes to mind. Pendulum. Chrysalis.
The spark ignites a flame. An idea ignites a war.
Hello? You still with me? No, we should stop. This has gone far enough. Hey, let's go over your results. Your soul has a fascinating internal structure. Perfectly balanced. An artist couldn't have made it better. Your godlike nature is a marvel to behold. What I see is something entangled about your soul. An outside presence that both is and isn't a part of you. It's old, dark, and rather tricky to pin down. Very interesting. That would be closer to Giata's area of expertise. I'm sure she'd love to give you a look. Fascinating. Thank you for getting my machine calibrated again. But you came for Giata's theory of the Dream Scourge. Between the two of us, she's on to something. Our farms are in great peril. The essence has been drained from the land, diverted, like the flow of a river. And risk joining her in exile? No. Without this workshop, we have nothing. Regardless, essence doesn't just disappear. It must be going somewhere. All I can tell you is keep looking. You'll find what you're after. As much as I hate giving people bad news, that's all I have. Please give Giata my fondest regards.
Keep looking, huh? I'm getting a bad feeling about what we'll find.
Yeah, I'll be honest. He lost me when he started talking about souls. What did I miss?
You ever think, what if I wasn't a ranger?
Of course. What would you do?
I'd be a flower picker. Huh? Maybe a cow herder.
Oh, I know. A rum brewer. Be a rum.
Are you as excited to get started as I am? Because I'm very excited. And you got his machine up and running. That's what I call progress. I helped Monto after his wife died. She was brilliant, and he took the loss hard. I'm going to miss him. I hope you had an enlightening visit at the corpse farm. Elia is one of my favorite neighbors, second only to Quilici. When her best farmhand got stuck up a tree, I got him down in one piece. Well, several pieces. I've always looked up to her. I hate to admit it, but I saw that one coming. Those two don't get out much. When Ignacy took away their research funding, I pulled some strings to get it back. He told me I was a fool, but they'll prove him wrong someday. I have faith. Sounds like you've met with everyone. We're ready to get started. So, did you learn anything of particular interest? That's the fun part of metaphysics. Everything is strange, but nothing is new. Look at us. Barely even started, and already we're making progress. Monto's machine is working, Elia will keep an eye on her revenants, and Yvette and Remy are providing us an alibi. Under the circumstances, the two are not so different. I needed those animancers for more than their expertise. Monto's invention nullifies spiritual interference. Having it up and running means we won't get any false signals. Whenever I tap into an Adra pillar, Elia's farmhands tend to get a little bitey. Thanks to you, they won't be a problem. And then there's Yvette and Remy, the governor's eyes and ears. In exchange for privacy, I gave them a test subject. I'd call that a good day's work. Animancy takes a lot of preparation. We might only have one chance to run through an experiment. Now we just need the right equipment for the job. When my parents died, they left me their life's work. An invention like no other. The phantasmal focus. Well, that's where I need your help. The problem is it's in the basement. I haven't gone down there since the accident. Since they died.
I'm sure everything's fine. It's just a spooky death basement.
I would get it myself, but I'm not ready to face what's down there. The door to the basement is just outside, around the corner. Of course you'll need a key. Please excuse the mess.
If that's where her parents died,
really
I'm glad we can spare her from having to go back.
Okay, walking into the basement of an animancer I just met.
No.
Right, feels great.
I wrote him poems, though.
You did not.
I surely did. Want to hear one? Rocco, you are not lazy. You make me crazy. Your eyes are my face.
Something's not right here. Stay ready.
Haven from the blight. Who grows here?
I feel pretty certain that those people aren't supposed to be guards. We can leave now, right?
Poor Giada. To think she's been living with this right under her nose.
I don't. Anyone know what happened back there?
I think those were Giada's parents, or whatever's left of them.
So they're dead?
Or something like that.
Gods. I can't believe this.
You're back. You found it. You actually found my inheritance. Did you see my mother and father? Are they still there? I'm sorry. For what it's worth, I don't think you were in any danger. All that's really down there is an unhappy memory. One that keeps on growing. For the time being, that would be best. With the phantasmal focus, I can finally tap directly into the essence of the living lands. I can also use it to smack around anyone who gets in our way. The only thing we're missing now is an Adra pillar, and I know the perfect one. Naku Tedek, the old godless ruin west of Fjord. There should be some equipment waiting for us. Before we head out, let's make the most of our time in Fjord. No telling how long we'll be gone. And I hate to be a problem, but I do my best work in small groups. Chalk it up to performance anxiety. Works for me. This is a good opportunity to cleanse our place of rest. Spiritually, I mean.
Take him down. Take a moment, people.